Alright, so we are back. And today we have a new game, Katawa Shoujo. I am very excited to try it out here. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. Welcome. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wood chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The dadacious trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together, furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. I ponder the meaning of the note. The snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are only a sign of the time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hisao? You came! A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart starts to race. Iwanako? I got a note telling me to wait here. Was it yours? I spent all my afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Rip. Pathetic. Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. Oh. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The what? The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so slightly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out, even if I tried. You see... Oh, jeez. I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! Bro, they'll tell me this dude's about to have a heart attack. My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hisao! The beating on my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. This dude really passed out because he was in love like that. That's crazy. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky. Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help, and the incessant clatter of the branches above. I might play Street Fighter today. I don't know. I yeah, we'll see. Top of the morning. Yeah, I have no expectations for this visual novel. We'll see. Been 4 months since my heart attack. Okay, so he did have a heart attack. That's actually nuts. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've been left in this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word. A foreign, alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They say it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Oh, that's crazy. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came on by a regular basis. I mean, that's real though. Like when things tend to happen in classes, I feel like a lot of times the teachers would be like, "Hey guys, let's create like a bunch of gifts to send to your classmate," but really, like, nobody really got along with that person, or like they just weren't necessarily like that dude or girl. I don't know. It's a weird situation because it's like, on one hand, you want them to get better, right? But on the other hand, it's like you don't want to come off as disingenuous. So Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry, and they have a million other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never had answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still asked the head cardiologist about leaving. But my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism from my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storage room for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think even I became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That's what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading, and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to push the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some sort of special occasion? It's not a party. There's this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. "Hello, Hisao. How are you today?" I don't answer him, but I smile back. A little bit. "I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We all have all your medication sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription." The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many... I take it from his hands and take a look at myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. Jeez, insomnia, bronchospasm, nausea, hypertension, diarrhea. This guy's going through it, I can't lie. This is insane. Side effects, adverse reactions, contradictions, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I tried to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this, for the rest of my life, every day? I'm afraid that's the best that we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I could have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it is wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? It is a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of the students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If bro was wait, if it was really that free, there wouldn't be 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital nearby being a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. I went out there and had a look a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school. That's an insult, I wanted to say. Just step down. It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues is in another hospital, is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I had always thought of my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no, I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it is a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake just to resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life is like. I don't know, I kind of agree with him. Like, he didn't necessarily need to switch schools. I feel like that was kind of preemptive. Alright, Act 1, Life Expectancy. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general do seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster assembled into a hole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh-cut grass, and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom around behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if this feeling is real, or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. It makes me wish there was someone here so I could anchor myself to something tangible, instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, how they say the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be Nikki? Nakai. So, you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. What's a good ghost? Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Yeah, of course, or why? I don't know, I feel like we're feeling a bit more apprehensive right now. Like, we're not really with the program. Why? Do I have to? Of course not, that's why I asked. Right. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know that, but there isn't any point to worrying so much about it, at least not this soon. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath, for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stopped walking in front of the classroom and faced the other students. They all look like normal students in any other school, but then why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them, only it's not immediately obvious. Then I noticed that one of the girls seems to be missing a thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking to you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long straight hair that's pretty eye-catching. And as she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Dude, is that Peter Griffin in the back? What the heck is going on? Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rim of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is the cheery-looking girl with the pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands and so does everyone else except one girl in the front row who only has one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. After the applause, there's a brief silence that nobody seems to want to be responsible for breaking. The teacher soon realizes that he should probably say something. He opens up with some unintelligible noises, shuts up as he loses his momentum, and then starts introducing me. Nobody seems to be too interested. Maybe I should have said yes to this self-introduction thing. Probably realizing he doesn't know anything about me, he just ends up saying my name wrong again and asks me to write it on the whiteboard. Or blackboard, rather. I do that, and turn back to face the class, feeling awkward. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along, while letting my gaze sweep across the room. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round, with her one hand against the other wrist, that ends in a bandaged slump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You're gonna work with Hakamichi. She's the class representative. She can explain everything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Alright, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. I As she calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with the bright pink hair, gold eyes, waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Ha! What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shi-chan. Oh. Hakamichi has it. I can't lie. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue hair that seems to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Oh, so she's deaf. Yeah. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, you'll be able to talk to people, and who can better explain things to you. I can see you're a little confused, right? Right? But I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan's deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right? Misha looks at me with a weird expression, then continues. We don't know much about him, but maybe we'll find out later. Maybe I should have introduced myself after all. Anything would have been a better impression than giving the teacher's drone and fumbling with my name. We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you were here today, so soon. Shi-chan, right? Shi-chan? He-chan. Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits you. You look just like I imagined. Face. Yeah, you look just like a He-chan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Oh, sorry about that. Shi-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. Hahaha. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school either. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shi-chan? Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly, but anyway. I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deep. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Alright. Ah, and another thing. You don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. She blushed. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep, Shizune is fine. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, just less so, I guess. Huh? Oh right, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shichan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of both being difficult and unnecessarily long. That's so real. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. Time for lunch. My eyes. Ah! Okay, back to business. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who's beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby, where I meet Muto down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in the school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu items, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice! It feels almost like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. What is that face? I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite. Do you want to know something? What? About anything. We're your guide, so you should ask if there is something. I wonder. Oh? We like books. I kind of want to know more about Shizune also, though. She's But I feel like maybe we don't have the relationship to ask this question. It seems kind of inappropriate. So we'll just ask for the library for now. Oh yeah, is there a library in the school? Lately I've gotten into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives the kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again. There is! It's on the second floor. We can show it to you sometime. Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they were talking about secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice the conversation in sign is not enough to fill a sentence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. Oh, the dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into some stone, just for our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students, and finally, the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me feel like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hichan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. Well, they are like the class rep, so it makes sense. Thank you, Azur. I appreciate you. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Oh, wait. The teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out their other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it actually looks like it's part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. How's that official? Don't be silly, Hichan. It's for our physical therapy, of course. Anyways, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse offices is on the first floor. You'll be fun from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. Oh, wait, that kind of looks like my university. There was a secret building in Florida State. It's not like a secret building, but it's like one of the older buildings that looks like really similar to that. It's like kind of creepy looking. It's interesting. I walk in hoping that this really will only be a quick visit, like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text "Head Nurse" in a nameplate. A voice from inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further, and I'm scared, so I'm gonna do this really quick, just as to confirm. I'm like, okay, we're safe, we're safe. The room is not large, and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Oh, hello there. What can I do for you today? He is young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. He looks suspicious. I don't know. I don't like the vibe of this guy. I don't like the cut of this guy's jib. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name, or just the nurse, like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should just grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right. I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and see you. My name is Hisao Nakai. This is Katawa Shoujo. His eyes light up with the revelation, and he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai. I was just reading your file in the morning. Some sort of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yeah. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities here, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is just like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people out of school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of paper around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceilings, gray laminate flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of familiarly thick files and opens it. So, you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, Do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Oh, right. I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really I'm too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There's no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. That boy got a heart attack from falling in love. I sidestepped the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers, with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Bisque rocks, or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe? There's even a pool here. So I was told. You were. Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you need anything else. I mustered out before I even realized it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, though to my eyes, they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, first going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they are going, and I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. Same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet and a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplate's on the room adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of 117, so I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Who is this Harry Potter looking dude? A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick glasses. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands right up, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup, dude. The name's Kinji. Ah, hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There were some suspicious looking people going in and out of your room earlier. Those probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you're smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind. It doesn't matter. With that, he turns around, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. What a weirdo. I kind of like him, though. Kenji seems cool. I slide the key into the lock of the door, marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some sort of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of the bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Ah, so it seems there are a number of school uniforms hanging in there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hichan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They say that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have. Then there would be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming, and for the entire day too. I still am, I think. Damn. I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottles of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Hisao Nakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. To stay alive is crazy. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted, having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start to look any more familiar, not even after darkness falls, and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for the room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing that I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up on my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room this year I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bag's on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating, until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from the foam sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one. A natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for the other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps, people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what is pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder which one I should join. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decide to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so the top is perfect and evenly flat. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hee-chan. My first thought is that means she didn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyways. Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really else to do. There are also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's this festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know, Hee-chan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. Huh? Oh! Who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning in our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideas and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Now, it's about delicious fried food, amusing little games that you play to win prizes. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed glaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all though, brushing it off without a care. We're in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Shi-chan. What? That's right. Shi-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchanged between them. Misha's tone also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go. Why doesn't he say anything? Hee-chan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, after the girl who left? No, nothing. She's so happy. Okay, well, like we were asking, don't you have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yeah. Okay, perfect. The rest of the class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks a little more annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish our work on time. I'm glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. Yes, it is, Hee-chan. Impossible. Really? Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and mine. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune? I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really. So, okay, RNG, the plot right now is essentially we're this guy and he had a heart attack because the girl that he liked confessed to him, and he became a nerd essentially and has arrhythmia, so he had to transfer schools because of his heart attack that he had from the girl being like, I like you. So right now we're just getting acclimated with the other students at the school. I'll probably play Street Fighter in a little bit. I'm trying to get through the first like little act here. Hopefully it's not like too long. We'll see. Because my throat is getting sore. Ayo, pause. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of reading out loud. Shizune can't hear me, but then it would be disrespectful to talk to only her through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing. It'll take some time to get used to. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me, as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I've never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Now Shizune is bad, I can't lie. Are you sure, Hee-chan? Very sure. You're wrong, Hee-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities. The prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Shizune pushes up her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings and she quickly gets up and packs her bag, looking at me expectantly. I had almost forgotten that I was supposed to be having lunch with them. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? It's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain. Well, I guess. At my old school, I liked to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it till the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat. Misha seems to imply as much. I am from Florida. The best state of them all. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finished eating, Misha packs up where we left off earlier. No, your English is good. I can understand you, yeah. So Hee-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Shi-chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again and Misha straightens her posture, as if she is about to deliver a speech. Hee-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Shi-chan? Right? But it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hee-chan. It's a really popular club. I mean, like, so I've been kind of curious about Italy, I would say. Like how, because I'm very interested in, well, like Rome and stuff. I studied Latin when I was in high school. So well, not even high school. I studied it in middle school, and then I just kept learning from it. So I've been like really interested in going there and seeing different stuff. Like, how is the transportation? Oh, okay. But more to the point, Hee-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good. Great. That's great, Hee-chan. Really great. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hee-chan, other than the clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council! I see. I didn't know the school had a student council. It's pretty melodramatic. I'm sure the two of them know about this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Right? Right. Hee-chan, maybe you should join student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. You're cutting bread? What the heck? Cutting bread? Why are you cutting bread? That's a weird thing to be doing. Better than America. In Italy, you have like some problems about transportation. Really? I always heard that Europe as a whole had pretty good transportation in between like all of the different countries, since you guys have a lot more trains. Bread is too big to eat whole. Did you buy like a whole loaf? Like, did you just go and buy like a whole baguette and then you just didn't cut it at the grocery store or something? Like, well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hee-chan. Shi-chan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shi-chan's the president. I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from having you in the student council, and therefore have an incentive to try to get you to. So you're admitting that? No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hee-chan, of course, it would be nice if you wanted to join and we'd appreciate it. But even without all of that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the works of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying really hard to look their cutest, although they're already pretty cute to begin with. Well, better than America, but the trains can come late. Yeah, or they're like the bus. Yeah, I mean, because like I've tried multiple forms of transportation, like both here and in other countries, and I really enjoy taking metros. Like when it's an actual option, like where I am now, I can take a metro theoretically, and it's a pretty okay experience, but it's not as well utilized as in other countries, unfortunately. Otherwise, like because I really like communities where you can walk. Like I went to Japan and it was just very nice being able to either walk everywhere that you need to go or just take like a metro or catch the bus and not really have to worry about like terrible things happening. So I don't know, I really like it. Do you guys have like other foods that you're known for that's not like pizzas and stuff? Like what are some hidden foods that you're really known for that people don't usually talk about? So it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan. What? No. Aw, see, Shi-chan? Of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right though. It would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well. Shi-chan owes me candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life's not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha assigns it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. That's very interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. Okay. I was asking, what was I asking? Oh, I was asking, like, besides like pizza and like pasta, what is like a food that you feel that you guys make that's really good that people don't talk about? No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up, and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I'll have to decline. Hichan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us? That we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. Shizune's not happy. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No! How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle, and you try to shoot it past the goalpost that the other person makes with their fingers. It's actually pretty fun. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hichan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children. Shichan? That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact you know all about it makes it seem like you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hichan? Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Hichan, how about Risk? The game of world domination. I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hichan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Oh really, Shichan? We can play just for fun. Shichan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hichan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete, just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends, and we go back to class. Okay, so, all foods in Europe are better, because, like, American meats, breads, and eggs are banned in Europe and many other things. The egg thing is kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's seeming really, like, the game's seeming pretty interesting, I would say. I don't know where we're going yet. I wonder if we're gonna have a variety of choices to choose from as far as like clubs that we can join or something. That'd be pretty interesting. I've made it a point. I want to try McDonald's in every country that I go to. So far I've had it in a few countries and it's been like super delicious. I wouldn't say there's been that huge of a difference between most countries except like Japan. I think that was the most drastic difference because they had like actual different items. Except when I was in Canada, they had like this they had a McFlurry that was a little strange. It had like those that egg candies. I forget what they're called. Like what are the little egg candies called? I don't really remember, but it was strange and very suspicious. I don't know how I felt about it. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Oh, the island's McDonald's has chicken. For sure, try everything. Yeah. Like chicken wings? Dude, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they had chicken wings. I I would I try McDonald's chicken wings? I can't say I would. that that sounds like a terrible idea. Even if it is in a different country, I don't think I could do that. I don't trust the batter. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I try to escape. You had them? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Oh, the ones that wait, what the heck are you talking about? Ooh, wait, what? The McDonald's by you has wings? Wait, chlorine. Wait. I've never heard of us cleaning chicken with chlorine. That's I don't know. I'm kind of curious to look it up, but I'm scared also because I kind of don't want to know. I'm kind of content with just eating, I guess. Maybe this is where maybe you just converted me to eating organic chicken only. I feel a little offended, but I'd been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break in it for the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right. We're just going to go play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we all sit down to play the game. They'll tie me up and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. It's not true, Hee-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened. Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly back to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. The chickens in America are clear for bacteria and salmonella with chlorine in the water, so it's like the same in the pools. I mean, like, because I can understand that theoretically, right? Like it it potentially could make sense, but I guess I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure they were like, if that was the case, then we could just eat raw chicken, right? And not really have to worry about the salmonella. That's why we have to cook it like fully, or at least to temp. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you hear me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. That's a crazy line. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center, surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't seem to have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could have at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most noticeable thing is that this room doesn't have is either whoa. But the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Yeah, that's right. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. You want to know the rules? We can explain it to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Okay, yeah, of course she still cooked the chicken for bacteria. Got it. Okay. Right. Yeah, because that'd be kind of crazy, right? Yeah. Yeah, cuz right. Okay, so basically it's preserving the chicken for the trip between the chicken being offed and getting to the grocery store, and then obviously at the grocery store it has to sit for whoever knows how long until you decided that you wanted to buy it. So it's prolonging the bacteria from breaking down the chicken like early. Makes sense. Chizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me, and I start feeling more competitive than I intend to be when I agree to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Chizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Shi-chan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Shi-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyways, no! Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little bit more magnanimous? She doesn't seem to understand what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. What? Okay, like only there are like what 1,200 1,300 products chemicals that are banned in Europe but still used in America. Like Skittles are banned in Europe for yellow 5 and cancer and hyperactive, but as long as you didn't get rid of that red 30, that's all that matters, because that food dye is the best in the world. You can't make a bunch of stuff without the red 30. The red 30 is the goat of cooking. It makes everything taste better. Like, you can't, like, for instance, you can't have a red velvet cake without some red 30 in it. It's just not a red velvet cake at that point, right? Red 40? No! They banned the red 40 too? That's terrible. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Oh wait, please slow down, Shi-chan. Shi-chan. Shi-chan says you're going to lose. Oh, rip. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Ah, okay. Those words of hers shine with childlike mission. That face is crazy. What the? She looks like Taco Bee for a second. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. You won't. Alright, she has a point. Attack her aggressively. It's a trap. It's smarter to play defensively here. No, we're going all in. She's either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses in victory and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist up in the air in celebration. I win! Yay! There's no need to translate that, it was pretty clear. Don't look so sad, Hee-chan. You're really giving it your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes your best just isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Hee-chan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Shi-chan is impressed. So what do you guys use then instead of like yellow 5 and red 40 for food coloring? Like how do you get delicious cupcakes and frosting? The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. Ah, okay. So it was banned and then allowed because they realized that they made a huge mistake and that the food quality went immediately down after. Yeah, okay. The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there, isn't that great, Sean? That isn't enough though. Just potential isn't enough. There's no point to potential if you can't take the first step, and there's no point to that if you can't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Shichan, but that's so demanding. Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful, and more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start. Hichan, would you like to join the student council? She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any of their clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe. I'll get back to you on it. Okay, Hichan. But I hope you're not just saying that just so we don't feel bad. No, not really. Really? Hichan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that it's definitely the truth and that there can't be any mistaking it. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Shizune smiles at that in a mischievous way, that feeling like the twisting of the knife in the wound of my loss. The face is absurd. I took a glance at the clock on the wall and realized I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shichan. Well, we think the library is open. It's on the second floor, can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye! Oh, it's a new painting. Or maybe it's on a different floor, right? So most of the products Americans need to change for it to be allowed in Europe. Like orange Fanta is like yellow. Yeah, I remember reading about that. Like, cause like the Fanta, and then also like some orange juice. Crazily enough, also I forget the brand right now. It's interesting. One day I want to go to Europe, but I just don't know necessarily where I would want to go. I guess I would probably want to start my transcontinental descent, probably starting in like London or something, and then maybe going to actual Europe after or something like that. But I'm not really too sure where I would want to go. I'm also kind of interested in like Iceland and Sweden and stuff like that. I feel like Italy could be cool, but I don't know. I kind of get nervous when I think of like the people. Like, are you guys friendly? Yeah, a person in 2 weeks went to like 10 countries, used the train. Yeah. One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain. Like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though just barely ajar, so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library to be invitingly open. Well, this one's not quite that. It's good enough. At the very least, that means somebody's inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I don't trust this. That seems like a suspicious thing. Okay, we're safe. It's a your paranoia kicking in is something in the mist. Yeah. This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its fullest extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway, staring at a beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there. May I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a separate being from the room itself. And not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. What is she, like 6'9"? Classic blind girl. Bro! I'm not gonna lie, I was not locked in enough to realize that she's blind. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Here to take a seat? Unexpected considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite to her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she's probably at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. Yeah, the music slaps. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely uncomfortable. The calming atmosphere is so different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student here to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restraining bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. That's one thing I would like to do. If I go to like someplace like Italy, I would love to go to an opera. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often slightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean in sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have. It's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer of preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Man, she is tall. Jeez. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this class is visited after school. The school library, Shizune and me, some classmates told me it was on this floor. Well, the thing is about operas is, since most operas actually aren't in English, so that's kind of like the norm. You just go and you just either like context clues, like stumble around because most of it is like in Italian or I forget the other one that it's in, but it's definitely not English for like 90% of them. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, that's something that I'm into. I really like operas, musicals, plays, stuff like that. I went to an opera a year ago, and it was in Italian. in my city. It was pretty good. Although, I mean, I guess they wouldn't do it there, of course, but like when they did it here, they had a screen with translations, which was kind of cool. So that was nice, but I feel like you could kind of catch the gist of what was going on at the same time as well. The opera's a little like death, yeah. Mostly I just go for like the sound, you know. It's like you may not know what they're always saying, but you can always get the feeling. Like the school library. Yeah, okay. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods. A small metallic tapping coming from the teacup, indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite the character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. You have jokes. you have jokes. I think the blind girl, like, she look at how she's staring at you, bro. I can't. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but it seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes? Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My. There's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. Well, the same can't be said for everyone. Many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here often to drink tea? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duty as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Good. That's a relief. I've really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh. Time's gone so quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. Rip. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. What do you guys usually do for fun? Do you guys have a chronic online addiction like like us? Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? It's probably something I should have asked Suzune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during the weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms that I have well enough time to get there. Of like being on the internet, or do you guys actually interact in person with each other? I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it, alright? Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. It gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. Bro, this is JR, this is Katawa Shoujo. It's the best visual novel of all time. If you're sure, then that's great, thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be there for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together, we leave the peaceful room and into the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slows to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take us long for... Yeah, it's a game. I don't know. Would you consider light novels to be games? I think they're games. I mean, I got it on Steam, so it has to be a game, right? It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door, to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor, rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily adorns my old school's library with the distinct smell of old books, giving the place an old world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Iko, are you here? She says it to thin air, since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't unsee this. What's unexpected is, it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Ah. Oh! That was unexpected. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to the extremely rigid attention. Hi Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for it, for both of them, you then came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. Yeah, her head is pretty massive, but she's just like, dude, she's gotta be like She's gotta be as tall as LeBron James. There's just no way. She's freaking huge. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies and almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could in any way be inconvenienced by bashing her head onto the counter. Hey, yo? Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression. She then shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. Wow, Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that just arrived? Right. They finally came. I can't believe it took me so long, but I missed her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure. She notices me from the corner of her eyes and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you here before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. That's so me. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao. Right, Hisao. Nice to meet you. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Dude, you're insane. You're insane. You're actually insane. Because she's blind, of course, she's told to straighten her back. If they're blind and short, they're more unhappy, bro. Would you like to tell Hisao a little more about something from the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with a expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How's it any responsibility at all? I don't get it, but her objection is so sincere I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But so there are a lot of books in Braille here. I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work, at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Dude, I thought about going to Evo. Because I was like, I should go. It would be fun, but I couldn't do that because I have other obligations that are coming up, and I was like, that would be highly irresponsible to go to Evo this year. That is. In anime, the girls have rules. Like if I do sports, you have to be like have short hair and like more muscles, and if you're you knew she was blind before she even opened her eyes. That's insane. I mean, maybe there was just a high chair. You couldn't decide just off the photo that she was blind, right? Yeah, I'm gonna plan to go next year. That's the plan. Is I would like to go. Yeah. Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that'd be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. I spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they weigh so much. I wish I could just quit this job. A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would like those books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of the books in random order. occasionally sliding out one to read the blurb, taking it with me as it if it looks good. Because if she couldn't walk, was to play the piano. Yeah, but that's a generational trope. Thanks to well, never mind. I'm silly. I was gonna say thanks to Beethoven, but that's not what happened, right? Right. Yeah, I mean that one makes sense. Like, you can't walk, you gotta be good with your hands. She's gonna walk on your hands like upside down. I don't know if you've seen those videos. They're kind of interesting. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lillian snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk, either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of the several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out from the classroom earlier. Okay, I'm stopping here. My voice is like cooked. I need a break. Create a new save. All right, that's enough. That's enough Katawa for now. Thank you for joining in our Katawa. If you want to see me keep going, feel free to drop like a follow or something. But I need a I need a slight break to get like some like tea or something. Oh my gosh. She doesn't know how to talk to you. I mean, she looks chronically shy. Like, she looks like if you asked her a question, she'd probably bust into tears. She literally looks like if you asked her a question, she's immediately busting into tears. Thank you for the follow, also. But yeah, I just, oh god, I'm so tired. So I think maybe wait. You're number 160. Thank you. I'm thinking maybe, depending on how my voice feels later, I'll probably stream Street Fighter, because that's what we do on Saturdays. We do Street Fighter Saturdays, but Shoto Saturdays. I got mahjong on Monday mornings. On Tuesday I was supposed to play this, but I got distracted, so I was playing it today to make up for missing it on Tuesday because I felt so bad. I was like, oh no. Um, tired. Hope you guys have a great day. I am going to say goodbye.